Hey, it's Mark here from Make Him Yours, and I'm here with the beautiful Jermia at the gorgeous Venice Beach, and we are here for Ask Mark today. Are you excited to be here?
Absolutely, I always am.
Gorgeous here. Hey, Jermia's in the Facebook group, Master Coach Brett is there as well, so make sure you join it. The link's in the description below. Let's get straight into today's questions.
Let's do it.
First one is a question, I love this question. It's from 𝐓𝐇𝐈𝐒 Adelato.
That's a good pronunciation, I like that.
Thanks, thank you. She says, oh my God, this is so true. I've been dealing with this in the past, but because he was insecure and I didn't know it, I really bought into that bullshit. But I must say there are others who don't neg, but they just don't show appreciation or lift you up when you achieve something because they are jealous they didn't accomplish anything.
Yeah.
My question is, should we not date insecure people anymore, or if we date them, just be more careful and don't buy into their bullshit? Thank you. The interesting thing about this question is that, well, everyone has insecurities.
Yeah.
But yes, you will, on average, have better relationships with more secure men.
With the insecurity kind of issue, you need to assess whether or not they're kind of almost like superficial insecurities, like, you know, are they something that you can work on together and kind of work through them, and are they being worked on already by themselves? You know, so have they acknowledged their own insecurity and are they working to fix it and kind of better themselves? Because that's going to be a completely different scenario to whether it's, you know, a really deep-seated insecurity and it negatively affects the relationship constantly and they're not being worked on because they're totally like kind of polar opposites in that sense.
Yeah, if the insecurities are deep, or if they're making you feel shitty every day, or the relationship seems shitty every day, or if they're deep and not being worked on, these are things that could cause real problems.
Yeah.
So you've got to judge each guy on his merit. You've got to judge the insecurity on the effects it has, the way it's communicated. Even simple things. Communication in a relationship is relative to how secure a guy is.
Yeah.
If he's not doing well at, say, sex, for example, or if he doesn't want to talk about an achievement that you've had, these are all, as you say, related to insecurities.
Yeah.
So on average, you want to go for more secure men, and you want to be working on yourself so that you can be the more secure woman who would date those men.
Perfectly said.
Agreed? Second question. I love that question. That was a really good one.
Very good.
Second question is from Helena. And Helena says, I met a guy at a tech event and we had a meaningful convo and connection late. As a matter of fact, he kept saying he didn't want me to go and that he really enjoyed our conversation. Every time I suggested it was getting late and I was going home. Eventually he decided to drive me home even though he lives 30 minutes north and has a child. When we got there, he said, look at the moon, it's so big. Like, oh my God, the moon, it's incredible. It's just sun up there right now. I was thinking, what the fuck? And just gave him a hug good night. I was tired already and had to wake up early. I may have been a bit clueless. That was a sign he wanted to kiss me or something. There is quite a big age gap, and you don't clarify here, Helena, which way the age gap goes. I'm assuming you're younger. But he seems persistent of staying around me that night, and we really clicked. I did say that we would see each other again next time. Why didn't he text me? He has my card. Anyways, may see him at the event at the end of next month. What should I say if I see him? Thoughts?
From what I take from this, it seems to me that he seemed to be throwing out a lot of like, hey, like, I'm interested in you, and throwing out a lot of signs, but wasn't really receiving any back. And I think, you know, the more he's kind of offering to stay, like, stay and talk to me, okay, I'll drive you home. Oh, look, here's another excuse, let's look at the moon. And you kind of like, not totally inadvertently, like, without realizing, kind of like, okay, like, this is nice. Like, yeah, you stayed a bit, you got dropped off. You're like, all right, cool, see you later. And those were all like rejections to him. So I think he's probably just a little bit too shy to text you. He feels like he gave it everything he got and he just struck out and there's no real chance with you. I think that's what he would be feeling.
That's my interpretation of the situation as well. I think this guy, you know, it's not like he was after sex. He didn't even try to kiss you. He was going down the whole romantic line, and I think he just wasn't getting enough and kind of gave up and thought you weren't interested. So when she sees him at the next event,
I would, like, if you're interested in him and he seems nice, definitely go and say hi. Like, oh hey, why didn't you call me? Like, whatever it is, just, you know, you can strike up a conversation. any way that you want to. Like, he'll probably be like, oh my god, it's the girl that kind of rejected me. He might be a little bit shy, or he could be like, oh hey, like this is my excuse to talk to you again. But yeah, just go and talk to him if that's what you want to do. Definitely.
Yeah, I would definitely gauge his warmth on the why didn't you call me.
Yeah.
If he's real warm when you see him and friendly, I'd say that.
Yeah,
if he's
it's
kind
just
of,
all playful
like,
and
hey,
joking.
if he's
Yeah, hey. Yeah, because you don't want to be like, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you text me? He'd be like, I don't know, I'm sorry. But yeah, if you're like, I was waiting for a text and it never came, you say it lighthearted, he'll be like, oh, like, I can't believe, like, now I've wasted all this time where I could have been talking to this amazing girl, but I was too shy.
yeah, it delivered in that flirty manner, I think, is really key with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Helena, hopefully you'll see him again next time. You can kind of correct all this. Just be friendly, just be normal. You can add that playful sort of line in there. And yeah, you should do really well with this guy.
Yeah.
Next question is from, we've got a question from Kirsty. And Kirsty says, I have been dating this guy for 5 dates and we are sexually intimate. I like him, but I don't feel I know him very well. I really don't know how to get to know him. He talks to me on Messenger every night, so I assume he likes me too. Can you do a video on how to get to know someone? Kirsty, pick up the damn phone. Thoughts?
Yeah, get him on the phone. Like, try and just speak to him, like, so that way you're hearing the tone of voice, the way he speaks, you know, you get a better sense of who he is. Even though you've seen him for 5 dates, you have been intimate, you will get, like, kind of, like little flashes of what he's like, but kind of talking on a computer, texting is totally, it's so removed. You don't really find out what people are like. And the way that you read text and things like that can be so different to what they intended. So yeah, get on the phone and just have a chat to him. Be curious, ask him questions, you know, find out those things about him that you want to know. Like, what's his family like? You know, what's his work history? What does he do? What does he love? What are his passions?
Yeah, check out some of the videos we've got on great first date questions as well. Simple things like what's been the best day of your year? Who are you closest to in your family? What's the proudest moment of your year so far? All these sort of things will bring out his values and will tell you heaps about him.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Christy. And the last one, I think I called you Kirsty before. You're definitely Christy. Hold on. Last one's from Callie. And Kelly says, I think the guy I'm seeing isn't texting me back because of a confusing text I texted him. How do I fix this? It'd be nice if you started out by telling us the confusing text that you sent him.
Oh, maybe you should just go back in time.
In all seriousness, if you've sent a guy an off text, there's a couple of ways you can go about it. If it's really off, if it's really off and it was just so far out, you want to call the elephant in the room, give it a few days and then text him. Depending on the text, it's going to be something along the lines of, oh God, sorry, I was having a bad night or bad day the other night. Not sure what I was thinking there. Basically frame it as a crazy off day and use that emoji that has the laugh with the sweat dripping down his forehead. Great emoji for that situation.
Yeah.
I would say if it's just a little confusing text, just a little, you don't really need to acknowledge it at all. Just give it a couple of days. He should text you.
If it's been like a real awkward thing and you've then tried to continue to make contact and you've got like, you know, a list like 5 messages of like, hey, anyway, how are you? Like, leave it. Run away.
That one's gone.
Yeah, you've blown it.
Well, that is us, Mark, from beautiful Venice Beach in California. Thank you so much for having us. What a phenomenal place you have here.
Stunning.
I can't wait to visit the next city.
Me
Hey,
too.
beautiful Jermia's been here with me. She is on the Facebook group, so make sure you get into that Facebook group. Hit that big red subscribe button, as always, with the like button and the little bell, which I almost forgot to mention there. Leave your comment, question, etc. below. I want to hear your questions for Ask Mark next week. We're heading to New York and Miami soon, and we've got a couple of other destinations in mind too that we'll let you know about. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.